just gonna take off my shirt and stuff.
No! Welcome to Draw Talk, everyone. The show where I draw and I talk. Joined with me today, my good friends. I got James.
Hey.
I got Kelson.
Hello.
We were in a podcast.
I one-upped you. I said hello.
I'm destroyed.
It's not what this is about, guys. It's not a contest. This is, I haven't... This is... You're not gonna... We'll see about that. No, but, this is the show where I draw and I talk, and this is like a happy Bob Ross time. Not that I'm comparing...
We're not as good as Bob Ross, and we'll never be as good as Bob.
No one could be as good as Bob Ross. I draw on this show. The first episode was a landscape, something I'm not too familiar with. This episode, we're going back into some more familiar territory, at least for me, and that would be character design. I prefer designing characters when I'm watching shows, cartoons, and whatnot, especially. I'm always looking at characters' outfits and their traits and the way they carry themselves, because it really does tell a story dependent on the character. Even if it's a relatively simple design. Think of a good one. I can't think of a good one. I mean, like, Garfield. He's a cat. He's fat. He eats a lot. You can tell that just by looking at him. He's lazy. He's got those half cat. Eyes. That's right. Let me think of a serious example, though.
That was serious.
What have I watched recently? Cowboy Bebop, I guess. The main character, Spike. It's from his character design, you can tell immediately what the character is all about. He's kind of slouched, so you get the idea that maybe he's kind of lazy. But he dresses up, so he's got a serious profession. But at the same time, he's got his cuffs all rolled up. His clothes are pretty baggy. He's got big clown shoes. His hair is unkept. He's a bit of a goofball. But you can tell all that just by looking at him, which is ideally what you want to go for when it comes to designing characters. Right, James?
I really like how you draw. I don't know, like whenever time I draw, I can never get the shading right.
Oh, yeah?
And it just looks like I took the pencil and I dug it in as hard as I could.
Oh, yeah. I had that problem for so long. I would almost like scratch through pieces of paper.
I can't draw.
I have to. Yeah, that's okay, Kels.
It makes me jealous watching this.
Everybody
like,
can draw.
Really wish I could draw as well as you can.
I wish I could draw that fast.
Kelson, everyone can draw.
Wait, are you drawing with your left hand?
It's a weird thing. So this is all reversed. Well, this one is. I'll probably fix that. I'll flip it again in post, but because the video had to be recorded upside down because of the way it's set up, I end up flipping the video horizontally. So it makes it look like I'm left-handed and ends up flipping all the images. But that particular one he's seeing wasn't really edited at the moment, but I'm gonna get back to you. I'll get back to you on that. But Kelson, what you were saying, everyone can draw, even you, my child. What do you want to draw, Kels? What do you want to draw?
Anime girls.
Cool. Admirable. That's the thing of drawing women. It's nobody can.
Nobody has to know who you are if you post it on Tumblr.
That's true. Follow me on Tumblr. I've got a Tumblr. Follow me there. It's in the description, maybe. Did you guys want to plug any social medias? Kels, did you have a...
The 928.
The 928 TV. Of course, follow the 928 TV. Here's a clip of them.
Hello? Avery, I swear to God, if you masturbate in the room again, I'll kick your ass. No. I don't tolerate that shit, bro. It's fucked up.
There's no clip there.
That was a good clip. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Charles, for editing the video. Charlie, whatever your name is. Back to the video at hand. I came up with this idea kind of on the fly. So the guys you saw there with the clubs on their faces and the diamonds and whatnot, those were for the story that I've talked about that I've been writing for like a year and a half that I still haven't made much progress on. But that's okay. What are you doing with that skeleton?
He's naked as hell and he needs to get dressed.
Okay. Kelson's dressing a skeleton back there. Trust me, it's entertaining. Charlie, the editor. He's not a skeleton, I didn't mean that. He's alive and well. Don't come looking for him. Usually designing characters kind of happens on the fly, or I'll get like a random idea while I'm at work.
Someone's gonna watch this and be like, my cousin Charlie went missing.
Where
is he?
Do you have Charlie? Where is Charlie?
Oh, I found a sandwich.
I swear to God. It'll happen, probably. But, yeah. Design... aside from you dressing up the skeleton in the background, designing characters kind of happens on the fly. I start out with a rough idea like those. Those were just basic like soldier units, and I've had those designs for a while. I just wanted to draw them a little more clearly. And while doing it, I kind of started messing around with the design, and that's how I came up with that idea for the eye in the center. And then the rest of the characters just kind of came about from that. I thought, well, like, okay, he's got an eye, so like maybe a hypnotist or like a psychic kind of a vibe. So I went with that, and from there I got the color scheme, which you'll end up seeing later. What was that?
Definitely not him breaking.
Machine gun fire. Did you shatter Charles?
Broke his arm.
You broke his arm?
All epoxy.
Dude, you can't. Seriously, stop. You're not gonna get it on him.
Fine, then get me a jacket that can fit
You're gonna
on him.
break him. You
I
broke
already
him.
did.
God, I paid good money. You broke him.
Yeah, I'm all epoxy.
No. It's not that simple. You broke him.
Yeah.
Kelson
did.
broke my skeleton.
Facts.
Just put him away.
Fine,
just put him
Nolan.
away. We've had our first casualty on Draw Talk. Who would have thought it would have happened in episode 2?
Who would have known it would happen to someone who's already dead?
The beginning of the casualty plot character arc.
Who will be next?
I'm trying so hard to focus on what's going on screen. It isn't working. Kelson, you're twisting it off on purpose now.
I'm not. I'm trying to fucking put his arm back.
God. Back to the character at hand. This is the part where I started doing a more detailed sketch of the character. Like the eye in the center, really doing the kind of working on what the pattern would be and whatnot. I ended up coming up with the idea of having kind of like stripes going down his face or going along the side of it, like rippling waves. And as it goes along, it kind of straightens out and it becomes just uniform lines that fade from purple into black. Then I had the idea of adding these little yellow dots, which you'll end up seeing later. You'll see the coloring later on. Right now, I'm just kind of designing the chest armor, which ended up changing a little bit. I kept the same rough idea, but it did change over time. Are you done breaking the skeleton, by the way?
I haven't ripped his arm off yet.
I know. I know. I appreciate that. Could you fix him later?
Sure.
Thank you. Why do I have this feeling that I feel you're not going to fix the skeleton?
How am I supposed to fix a skeleton?
Okay. Good point. You're not a doctor. You're a magician. James, you like to draw. What do you draw?
Yeah,
I really
don't believe it.
I really only draw with reference. I can't draw anything without reference. And when I try, it just ends up... I have my little journal over there in my backpack, if you'll hand me my backpack.
Let's take a look.
Search through his backpack right quick.
But I can't really draw unless it's with reference, and you've seen the drawings I have in my room.
I like your drawings. They're very good.
Nice and framed. But these ones, these little doodles I draw, they're really, really pitiful, and I hope no one ever sees them.
That's okay. We won't put
Thanks
them in
for
the
showing
episode.
us.
We're just going to talk about them. You've shown me that one. There's a little buff man.
Rico.
There's a little buff man.
Te gusta lo que ves?
What does that mean?
It means, do you like what you see?
James speaks Spanish. It's
don't.
true. It's a fact.
I really don't.
James is fluent in over 12 languages.
Cuatro y venta!
That's right. What did he say?
420.
All right. Yeah, dude. Yeah, high five. Yeah. Good job,
Yeah.
I
guys.
have this one. I drew this in my... I think this was my English class.
Oop,
Nice.
turn around. Oh, I like the tent.
just-
I like it. There's tent. I like how you utilized. He used the lines on his paper, and he used one of the blue lines to illustrate kind of the horizon line of the ocean, and from there were some tentacles and a little ship on there, which is nice.
There's more.
Fabuloso.
I kind of started going away from the regular character design here. This is where you get kind of the messy parts, this is all my sketchbooks really are. They're just pages filled with these little like rough ideas and then maybe one finished idea in there. just a lot of jotting down what immediately comes to mind. Like I'm drawing the arm right now. There's a little symbol that I draw in a little bit here. It's a little like round guy. Let's see if it's on there. Not on there. It's on the chest. There's a little round guy with horns with a little eye. That was a reference to LSD Dream Emulator, which is it's such a good game. It's a weird game. It's like not for everyone, I would say. It's like a weird exploration game. You've probably heard of it. And I mean, with a name like LSD Dream Emulator, how could you not be intrigued by it? How could it not be your game of the year? How could you not love it? Kelson? You don't like it?
Interesting.
You don't like it?
It's not a favorite.
It's not in your top 5?
It's in my top 6, not my top 5.
That's admirable.
I played it twice. The first time I played it, I changed the settings, and then it told me restart, so I restarted. And then I went through it again, and something happened. Like, I was going through in one of the dreams, and then it crashed. And then I opened it a third time, and then it showed me this loading screen that it never showed, and it showed a person. And then it crashed, and then I opened it the fourth time. It didn't work.
That sounds surprisingly normal for LSD Dream Emulator, believe it or not.
Really creepy.
The whole game is weird, and it's very creepy. I don't know what happened in the drawing right there. He kind of was leaning to the side, and I kind of remedied that. This is the more finished character turnaround that I do occasionally. I'm talking to you two, by the way, not like the audience. But like, so like after I do all the rough sketches, I'll do like a character turnaround like this. And by this point, I don't really even have the up picked out. I have an idea in mind, but actually getting the actual colors is something that comes into play in a little bit. It's just the sped up process of this, and I'll probably end up speeding it up a little bit more, actually, now that I think about it, because this goes on for a little while, and it doesn't really need to. But, it's just getting down the basic ideas. I ended up adding a backpack and a little antenna to the side of his head, and this also needs to be flipped, because this is also mirrored. I need to remember to go through and do that. So it's weird seeing it in reverse, but there's kind of the back of the helmet and the rough ideas. I gotta say, I got a lot of my influences definitely come from my surrounding environment, I suppose.
Which is filled with robots.
Yeah, my room is filled with action figures and stuff, so a lot of the mechanics and the armor and whatnot come from, I don't know, how those parts move and interact. So I have a fairly good understanding of how armor would work and how it needs to work in order to be able to move to an extent. I know that certain armor pieces just wouldn't make sense unless they were made of a flexible material and stuff like that. So usually whenever I draw a character like this, it consists of like an undersuit and then the over armor. Kind of like a stormtrooper. Right, Kelson?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a stormtrooper. I like having the clasps on the side of the helmet. That's something that like I got from obviously like Power Ranger helmets and stuff. They usually have the little clasps on the side, you know, and like that's something that they seem to try to get rid of in all the artwork and stuff like that. Seems like they try to phase that out, like, oh, don't pay attention to that. But I think it gives them character.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense to how they get the helmets on.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the helmets are supposed to be like phased on or whatever in the show, so it like doesn't make sense to have clasps, but like, but it's all right. It's not bad. What's wrong with having the clasps?
It looks tacky.
Fight for your right to have clasps on Power Ranger helmets.
It looks tacky.
That's right.
You're not my real dad.
I think that's the charm of it, is that it looks tacky. That's another one of my influences, is tacky things and things that don't look right. How you doing over there? What are you doing? Speaking of things that don't look right, Kelson's, I don't know what you're doing over there. Fingering his fingering his navel, and it's weird.
Naval cavity.
His navel cavity. It's very good. But yeah, a lot of my influences are, I mean, Jamie Hewlett, his art style is definitely something that I try to look for, but I'm really a fan of like old sci-fi concept art. Not old, you know what I mean. Like Ralph McQuarrie, his concept art for Star Wars and stuff like that. Chris Voss does some great stuff. His spaceship designs in particular are always really good. Here's the part where I do the color. Okay, so I got this box, and in it is just a bunch of chips, like paint chips from like Bear Paints, right? And the thing with these is that these are designer colors. I went into Home Depot and stole like one of each one night. But these are designer colors, so they're all meant to go together. So what I do whenever I need a color scheme is I just flip through this thing for a little while until I find some colors that look good. And this can take a while. Sometimes I'll sit there for like an hour just trying to find colors. And eventually I stumble upon a color scheme that I like. So like for this, I knew that I wanted a purple and a yellow just because those go well together.
Oh shit, my bad.
And I know that usually good tones to go with that are like browns. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't want a bunch of vibrant colors, maybe like 2, 3 at the most.
Yeah.
Unless the point of the character is that they're like just a bunch of random neon colors, which looks fine too. I mean, I think Jack Kirby's concept, like artwork for Marvel.
How many paint chips did you take?
I don't know. There's like 200 of them. I just went in like one day at a time and got a stack of them each day so that nobody would suspect, and it worked out pretty good. After that, I went through some markers I had and kind of found similar ones to the the color chips I had picked out. I started kind of drawing them out in little dots. That one I circled there is just to represent white. But yeah, this was how I go through and find my various colors. And I didn't want to ruin the character turnaround just yet. Not ruin. I didn't want to start drawing on the character turnaround until I experimented with the colors a little bit more. Because, I mean, I hadn't really scanned it in, and I probably should have. But,
I get that.
yeah, but I still haven't colored on that, and I probably should.
In my old art classes, I like you, I never scanned anything I drew. And so as soon as I drew it, and then I drew all the lines in with the marker, I got scared to color it because I'm like, what if this shading doesn't come
Yeah.
right? What if I color this darker and this is like super light?
Just
Exactly.
copy it, and then you make a photocopy.
And I have a scanner. I have the ability to scan all of this stuff in, and I really should. I've been doing most of that on my Tumblr, which is good. I've been cataloging most of it, but not all of it. Not all of it. But yeah, this is the color schemes. This is just experimenting. So I was seeing what it would look like to have kind of like a beige Under Armour. Normally, with like the armor that this is based on, the suits are normally just white armor with black undersuits with like lines running down them. So pretty basic, but I kind of wanted to mix in some other stuff. You can see right here, Kelson's actually here to kind of help me out, because I started experimenting with the with maybe adding some red
Dude,
in.
you got 3 hands.
Yeah, so I got 3 hands right here, but in actuality, it's just Kelson helping me out, because we were seeing what it would look like to have red in there, and I think that even though I didn't go with red for the final piece, which you'll see in a little while, I'd like to go back and probably add that, because I think that red is probably the closest thing to what I want. You look like Leafy over there, Kelson. Kelson has a Snapchat filter. Completely removes his chin.
Yo, what's up?
He's been doing this for quite some time now. This has all just been a test to see how long I can go without mentioning it, but can you please take a picture of that, Kels? Please, with your mouth closed. I'll put it in the video. Please send it to me. Please send it to me so that I can put it in the video, please. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Let me go like this.
It's so good. It's on the screen right now. And it's gone. It's back right now, but it's gone.
Hey, don't lie to people.
I'm gonna have to edit all of this.
Have fun.
Yeah, right? Right? I enjoy editing these. Editing can be fun. It really can be. here's me experimenting with colors a little more. You'll see on the reverse side there was that finished piece of kind of like the crouching pose, which is what I ended up using as the final template for my little poof of hair. The photo is back, by the way.
Dude, I have a unicorn horn.
It's so good. That hair part is not part of the filter, by the way. That's
me.
That's just his normal hair. It's gone again. The photo's gone. That crouching pose right there. That was what I ended up using as the final piece.
You should insert a photo of Danny DeVito right here.
I'm not doing that. But anyways, I'm trying to talk. I'm tracing over the final piece with a fine liner marker point pen, I believe is what it's called. Just a fine line pen. This wasn't supposed to be like a super high quality finished piece, which you can tell by how quickly I'm tracing over everything because I was just trying to get it done. Here's where I started coloring. You can see there's the Under Armour, which I decided to go for just like a dark gray / black, which is good. I think that doing the beige was a bit too much. I decided to save the beige for the backpacks and the straps, which is good. I feel that it fits a little bit better. I decided to stick with the white armor and, of course, the purple lines running down it. Because I think that was a idea that I liked that I wanted to stick with. And I end up adding the little yellow dots all over, as you can see. And I wanted to stick with that too. I think that the purple in particular is just kind of one of those colors that people associate with like psychics, you know? Like, what is this? Okay, that one's on screen too. Purple is just one of those colors that you associate with psychics, and so I feel like if you look at this guy, you can understand what he's about. He's got the big eye in the middle of his head. He's got a bunch of wires coming off of him. It's purple, which conveys that idea of psychicness, and the yellow is usually associated with being like venomous or poisonous, so people see it. And I don't know if this is true, but I remember seeing a thing that said that yellow is one of the least attractive colors there are. Now, who knows how true that is, but I like yellow. I couldn't imagine a world without yellow. Yellow is good. Here's the finished piece. Coming along pretty good. There it is. Oh, here comes the music. Some good music. I'm going to turn that off real quick. What do you think, James? What do you think? It doesn't have to end right here. Just...
I think it's good. Honestly, like I said, I'm really jealous of how you draw. I really wish I could draw like you
can't draw with
It's not... It's difficult, but like it's like you with playing piano because you're a musical artist. You really are. You're really good at piano.
I wish I could practice more.
But like, yeah, it's that thing. It's just like dedication and time. And I know that sucks to hear because nobody wants to put in the time.
No.
But yeah, I'm speaking of the people right now.
Yeah,
they're out there in the cosmos. But nobody wants to put in the time and effort to do it, which sucks. Everybody wants to know how to get stuff quick, but it doesn't work like that. Even in this computer age with the internet and all of that, it doesn't work.
You do something retarded and you steal something, and then you record it and you yell something and you make loads of money off of it.
That is true.
Exactly.
So I could be wrong, but what I mean is actual talent.
Actual
skill
talent. That's hard.
Something that I have not acquired. But I'm working towards it. And I think we're all working towards that, right, Kels?
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this episode, Kels. I'm glad to have you here.
You should be glad because I was like the person constantly talking, right?
I think I'm going to edit just a compilation of the things you've said, and it's going to be like 10
Have
seconds.
a 15-second clip of me just like saying 2 or 3 things.
Laughing at its Snapchat filter that people can't see.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say, James, to the people?
No, not really.
Yo, shout out the 928 TV.
Shout out the 928 TV. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Until next time. Have a great day.
Have a pissy day.
Until next time.
Until next time.